Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of the Hicksville Exempted Village Board of Education to order. Roll call, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mrs. Carrier?
Here.
Mrs. Jones?
Here.
Mrs. Mazur? Mr. Methvin?
Here.
Mr. Vetter?
Here. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kind of a light crowd tonight, so no visitors to welcome. Part of this meeting will be a public hearing for the reemployment of Sandy Brown.
No objections.
There's no objections to that. So with that, is there a four-county report?
There is not.
Okay. Need a motion for minutes and financials, please.
I'll move.
Thanks, Jen.
I'll second.
Thanks, Eric. Minutes from the regular board meeting on June 27, 2022. Treasurer's consent agenda items. Cash reconciliation is of June 30, 2022. Financial statements for June 2022.
Nice and light.
I don't know. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Carrier?
Yes.
Mr. Vetter?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Methvin?
Yes. Motion carries 4-0 with one absent. Need another motion, please.
I'll move.
Thank you, Minda.
I'll second.
Thank you, Jen. Recommend to approve the revised memorandum of agreement for deposits of public funds between Premier Bank and Hicksville Exempted Village Schools beginning January 28, 2019 and ending January 27, 2024. You have any color for that? Or?
Yeah, a little bit of this came about because we currently, in our Premier account, that's our main checking account, but we roll over money into a PEG account above $150,000, and that had been rolled over to an ICS account. It's basically CDs that they go get from around all over the place. Well, we're moving away from the ICS, going to a money market. They are going to match the Star Ohio rate plus 10 basis points. So basically the rate is better, is the biggest reason why the move is being made. They don't have to hit so many different CD accounts. So this has really kind of come to a head, too, with the increased interest rates that have been happening over this calendar year, that our rates now, the rate with our money market is 1.73%. And just 6 months ago, the rates were, 15 basis points or something crazy. So it's increased dramatically, and this will give us an opportunity to make more interest income over if we left it in ICS.
So why are we backdating it to 2019?
That is because there's a current agreement, 5-year agreement right now that's in place from 19 to 24. So it's really kind of an addendum to that memorandum of agreement.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Question?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you.
Okay. So,
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mrs. Carrier?
Yes.
Mr. Vetter?
Yes.
Mr. Methvin?
Yes. Motion carries 4-0 with one absent. Need a motion for employment of certified staff.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Minda. Recommend to accept the resignation from Madison Stockman as classroom instructor. Recommend to accept the resignation from Sean Bergman as assistant golf coach for the 2022-2023 school year. Recommend to accept the resignation from Elaine Gherkin as National Honor Society Club advisor for the 2022-2023 school year. Recommend to approve Jacqueline Underwood as a substitute teacher for the 2022-2023 school year. Recommend to approve the following supplemental contracts for the 2022-2023 school year. Sean Bergman, head girls golf coach. Dave Blue, head girls track coach. Robin Chamberlain, co-assistant athletic director, 30%. Jennifer Cunningham, co-assistant athletic director, 70%. Andrew Gahagan, co-National Honor Society Club advisor. Elaine Gherkin, co-National Honor Society Club advisor. Paul Payne, head boys track coach.
Jennifer Cunningham, who is that?
She was, we hired her a couple, I think, maybe
3 meetings.
2 meetings ago.
Athletic?
But
or-
her name is, she's got like 2 different names. I don't understand all of it, but
Okay, but it's a teacher, not the, I thought it was a guidance counselor, but it's a teacher.
it's a teacher.
Okay, all right.
Yes, she.
Okay, I just wasn't sure.
She the one that might have replaced Lori Turnbull.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Vetter,
Yes.
Mrs. Jones,
Yes.
Mrs. Carrier,
Yes.
Mr. Methvin.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0 with 1 absent. Need another motion, please.
I'll move.
Thanks, Jen.
I'll second.
Thanks, Minda. Recommend to approve the following supplemental contract for the 2022-2023 school year. Tim Schock, head baseball coach. Roll call.
Mrs. Carrier,
Yes.
Mrs. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Vetter,
Yes.
Mr. Methvin.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0 with 1 absent. Need another motion for employment of classified staff.
I'll move.
Thanks,
I'll second.
Minda. Thanks, Eric. Recommend to accept the resignation from Amy Stabler as cafeteria cook. Recommend to approve Pam Slattery to scan student records during the summer of 2022 for a maximum of 130 hours at her current hourly rate. Recommend to approve the following supplemental contracts for the 2022-2023 school year. John Adams, co-head softball coach. Jay Chamberlain, co-head softball coach. Jake North, weight room, strength and conditioning. Brianna Ori, assistant junior high volleyball coach.
I wanted to add as far as Mrs. Slattery, the files in the office there for student records just adds up and adds up and adds up. And by law, there's a lot of these records that we either have to keep so long or some we have to keep basically almost forever. And as long as it's on some sort of medium, you're okay. So what she's doing is scanning them into a system, and then we're going to shred and destroy the remaining paper documents to provide some space, because all the space in the office there was just full. So, and it's time consuming. It's nearly impossible to really be able to do that during the school year with everything going on, with the distractions you get, and you don't want to mess up records. So that is the reason why we've had her busy doing that this summer.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Vetter,
Yes.
Mrs. Carrier,
Yes.
Mr. Methvin.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0 with 1 absent. Need a motion for services and agreements.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Jen. Recommend to approve a memorandum of understanding by and between Defiance College and Hicksville Exempted Village Schools from July 1, 2022 through June 30, 2023 for the hosting of Defiance College teacher education candidates. Roll call, please.
Mr. Vetter?
Yes.
Mrs. Carrier?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
And Mr. Methvin?
Yes. Motion carries 4-0 with one absent. Need a motion for other business?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks, Minda. Recommend to approve the junior high and high school athletic code handbook for the 2022-2023 school year. Recommend to approve the activity advisor and coach handbook for the 2022-2023 school year. Recommend to approve the high school, middle school student handbook for the 2022-2023 school year. Recommend to approve the nurse salary schedule. Recommend to approve the following breakfast lunch prices for the 2022-2023 school year. Grades K through 12 breakfast, $1.75. Adult breakfast, $2. Extra milk, 50 cents. Grades K through 4 lunch, $3. Grades 5 through 12 lunch, $3.25. Adult lunch, $4.
Mike, do you know, did we increase these this year?
There was, a little
Minor.
slight increase on a couple of these.
Okay. And that's normal, because I know several years ago we were far below this, where the state wanted us, and so we've been doing like incremental, very small amounts every year, so.
But we haven't charged in what, 2 years?
years.
Yeah, it's been 2 years without
Yeah.
charging it. And
Yes.
yes, the state, which is really a federal guideline, states that you're not supposed to be charged in less than what state in the federal reimbursement is. Well, we are. And so they want to be, the feds want us to be at least that level or higher. Otherwise, they consider that we're supplementing or supplanting the federal funds. But there's a clause in there where you don't have to get it all back at one time. So by raising a little bit, we're working towards that without hitting our parents and our students
How far
with a big
below are
whammy.
we?
Well, this last year the meals were being reimbursed, I think about $486, so
Oh,
quite a bit.
Oh, wow.
oh,
That's a pretty big delta then.
Yes.
that's a pretty big gift.
So, these were essentially, well, in my mind, very minimal. Milk stayed the same. I think a couple other items. The K4 lunch might have went up 15 cents, and 512, 10 or 15 cents, something. So,
But is that 10 or 15 cents from 2.5 years ago?
I believe so. I don't think we changed it last year.
No, we didn't, because we didn't charge.
Yeah, we didn't charge, so.
So that's not much of a raise in 2.5 years.
No, it's very much below inflation. So,
Yeah.
but that is part of the intention, is try to. Last thing we want to do is be required by federal law to have an enormous increase. We want to keep away from that. So,
And I think it's good this year because people haven't had that in their budget for the last 2 years. So, it's good to not have raised it much over 2 years.
Especially with 3 or more kids.
Yeah,
start that
You
up.
notice it. You know.
yeah.
So,
Well, yeah, because your high schooler doesn't eat just the $3.25. He gets all the extras, too. We understand.
but we all know what it's like to go out to eat.
True.
Yes, it is.
And
How much it's gone up.
These rates are incredibly low compared to what you might get
Anywhere else.
anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I did want to say, we did make some changes to the athletic code. And I know, talking with Jeff, there are some additional changes that we would like to make, but we would like to get the coaches' input. And so we need to put that on the back burner for maybe sometime this school year, so we can get the coaches' input on some of those additional changes that we would like to see happen, which made sense.
Any other commentary or questions about any of that? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Carrier,
Yes.
Mrs. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Vetter,
Yes.
Mr. Methvin.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0 with one absent. Do we have any old business?
Fans, everything got approved, timely, grant, everything for the fans?
I haven't heard otherwise.
Okay, good.
So, I think so.
I would say no news is good news.
Yes.
As I drive by Van Cress's site out there every year or every morning, I'm excited to see what changes. Hopefully that will affect our water system. They've been doing a lot of digging and a lot of work out by the road, so I'm hopeful we'll have some positive changes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
I
there's a
think-
couple big piles of dirt there.
Yes,
isn't
there are.
Have you
Stone,
done-
a lot of pipes that they put in, and yeah. So
I think wait and see was the right thing to do there. So.
Yep.
Okay, any other discussion? No unannounced guests out in the crowd, so. We will be going into executive session for item number 1. Not going to make any decisions, just discussion only. So our next meeting is going to be
August 15th.
15th. That's just right around the corner.
It is. So,
August 15th at 5:30. And I need a motion to go into executive session.
I'll move. Go ahead, Jen. I'll second.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Minda. And that concludes the public portion of the meeting.